Hello. Yeah, I got a renewal notice for blame denial yesterday, and well, I've decided, which is pretty clear from the website, that I'm no longer going to be managing the site because basically I'm trying to get on with my life, and it's not. I think the problem is when you do this or do as much work as I have for this, that when you stop doing it, people assume that it's because you've changed your mind or you're not interested anymore. A bit like when you leave the rooms, people assume that you've relapsed. That's not the case at all. It's just that I can't stand still for very long, and I've always tried to, evolve. And I think I've got past that point of criticising AA, finding fault with AA, because I know I can't go around I can't go over that stuff forever in my head. And what I've been trying to do recently, which I hope at least the last two videos show, is that is just take my experience from other areas of my life and the other work that I do, try to apply it to AA and show a different way of life, my way of life, if you like, rather than just bash AA the whole time. I'm not criticising anyone that does that, because it's almost essential when you leave, or when you make the decision to leave AA, that you find out what's wrong with it, so that you don't feel as though you're headed for jails, institutions, or death for the rest of your life. But yeah, there comes a point, at least for me, when I sort of got bored of that, and I felt like I was stagnating, because let's face it, none of us are saints. We all have a reason for why we went to AA or why we are interested in AA. Well, most of us, at least, the vast majority. And it's okay for a while to find out those faults, but also I think it's important to put that behind you at some point. Put it in the past and say, yes, my experience with AA was unpleasant. AA is wrong for most people, at least, and it's certainly wrong for me. And then once you've done that, I think it's a good idea to move on and try to build something for yourself, build a life for yourself. Because as I've often said, there were times. I think the turning point for me was, for those that don't know, when there was a big flame war in a Yahoo group called NA, the NA Yahoo group, and it was there was no moderator. The moderator had disappeared. And anyway, at that time, I was able to spare the time to answer all the criticism to the posts that I made faulting AA. And eventually the board got taken down, and I was really exhausted, actually. I used to go to sleep for 2 hours, wake up, answer a whole load of posts, go back to sleep for another hour or two, get up, answer a whole load of posts. And this was a continuous circle for about 2 weeks. And a couple of other people helped me as well. But when it finished, I was so burnt out. And unfortunately, things went a bit wrong at 12-step 3. Which has its purpose, but I don't know. I'm concerned, and I always have been, that somebody might end up there and get the wrong idea. It's a strange place to go, because having left AA with all the feelings that you have when you do, to go into another sort of bear pit where everyone's criticising each other and finding fault. It's a strange phenomenon, really, because the one thing that we all had in common is that we didn't like AA. Yet it's still so hostile and brutal there. And I can't pretend that that's not how I feel about it. But again, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have a purpose. I just think people should be warned. And and there's horses for courses. If you want to go and have a good argument with people that essentially agree with you, that's fine. But if you want to just discuss things in a friendly manner, then there are other forums out there. But yeah, that was definitely a turning point for me, and I don't think I've ever regained the enthusiasm that I had before that falling out with 12-step free. But I don't know whether it's that or whether it's just, wanting to better myself every time. And you can only go over so many subjects with this. So I hope in the future that the videos that Mike and I make, or at least I produce and Mike makes, are going to be slightly more positive, looking at alternatives. I think it's a given that we all agree that there's a problem with AA. So, I don't know how many times you can regurgitate that. And my fear is just standing still and, getting up one morning in 20 years' time and saying, what have I learned? Not much, really, just that AA is a bit shit. And it's funny, because the same thing happened to me in AA. One of the reasons I left is I sat in a meeting and I read the 12 steps properly, not like you do, parroting them with everyone else. And I thought to myself, Christ, if this is all there is to learn in life, and I know it all already, or apparently it's all been given to me in these 12 steps, then I'm going to be pretty damn bored pretty damn soon. And that's another important thing. It doesn't really matter what I think, what other people think. The only thing that really matters is what you think. And the work I've been doing recently is completely away from AA, but I can still apply the same lessons I learnt from my departure from AA to the things that I'm doing. For example, I'm looking into the monetary system, the banking crisis. And I'm not taking what I'm being told as fact or gospel. I'm really going deeper and trying to find the truth. Not what people want me to believe, but what the actual mechanics of what's happening are. And that is a very valuable lesson. But it's only a lesson that's valuable if you can apply it elsewhere. If you only can learn it and do it with AA, then it's almost pointless, except it got you out, right? So maybe it's not. But I guess my whole point in this audio thing, video, vlog, whatever they call it, is just to say to people, particularly people who've been watching the videos for a while, that there is a lot of information online, and there's more. There's so much more than just criticizing and putting AA down. I mean, it's a great affirmation, to do it daily, because it makes us forget about ourselves. But everything should balanced out, I think. Bit of about 5 minutes in the morning, hey, criticizing AA, and then get on with the rest of our lives. Seems like a good plan. But no, I don't want to sound like I'm preaching, but it's just one of the things that's weights on my shoulders, and one of the things that I worry about. Maybe because that's what I did for too long. And there's not much reward in this, as I said in previous videos. Not that that's what I wanted, but I think maybe that's the cut-off point. Maybe I should have stopped once I'd learned everything I had to about AA, and then start learning about myself again. Not that you can't do both, but just having a heavier emphasis on getting on with my life. But anyway, enough about me. I don't know what I'm going to do with the stuff online. I know that a couple of people have offered to host it for me, but we'll see. I just don't know who I'd trust with it, really, because I'd like to know that if I ever wanted to take it down, I could. Just because there's personal stuff in there, and yeah. But there's a great new blog, and go to the front page of Glendon R while it's up. I had a read of it yesterday. It's really good, really well put together, and it's not too serious, but it's it gets the points across. Yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.